United. Oh.
Va bene. Loro hanno detto no, questo è inaccettabile. Abbiamo detto, però sono un cazzo. No, no,
Greetings, noble viewers. This is Guthrie Govan. It's my turn to come up with a few minutes of exciting extra material for our otherwise splendid DVD. I haven't quite worked out what I'm going to tell you yet, so why don't I just tell you a little bit about each of the songs I wrote for the gigs we did at Alva's and for our album. There's Bad Asteroid, which is actually about 20 years old. And if you're curious, it just started with this. Kind of like the groove of that, and in my furry head it was Tori Amos playing piano. It was more that kind of thing rather than a guitar part. And then I just kept adding more and more weird sections to it. And in some strange way I wanted it to represent an asteroid that was kind of wandering in a very irregular orbit and going to all the wrong places instead of just going in a normal circle as an asteroid should. So, for instance, there's a bit with some weird Steely Dan-ish chords, and I thought it would be cool to have a whole bunch of chords that didn't fit together, but had one note in common. So we have this. And I thought that's kind of fun, but why don't we do some heavy metal technical nonsense over the top? So go that thing. Which seemed fun at the time because it was a fluid tapping kind of thing, but over moderately interesting chords. Seemed like a good idea 20 years ago, and still enjoy playing the song now. So there's a little bit of trivia about Bad Asteroid. What else can I tell you? There's Furtive Jack. Furtive Jack's kind of entertaining, and it's actually a song that I think we fixed slightly after we recorded the album version. I always find it tricky kind of narrowing an arrangement down so that between three people playing live, you hear all the content of the composition the way you meant it to be. And there are certain parts where I wanted, like in the bridge section, you really need those chords. And I can't do it because I have to play the melody, so this weird kind of fingering came out. Harmony hidden in there, where you've got this, and you've got, but the bit that we really fixed, I think, was in the middle. I could ramble about this for hours. It's probably not that interesting, but when I wrote that, I wanted it to have the same 5/4 feel that runs through the rest of the tune. And if you've got like a metronome type vibe doing, but in 5, please. Thank you, Luca. I'll try that again. Perfect. Interesting to an extent because it's always that, which is a pretty idiotic, basic piece of musical material, but every time the new bar starts, you're in a different part of this simple figure. And then later it horrified me to realise that someone might listen to it and just think it's in 4/4. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is terrible. So I thought, although we've already recorded the album version, we probably need some chords to stop it from sucking. And these are good chords, I'm pleased with these. So you've got... It almost resembles music now, so I'm filled with sorrow that we forgot to do that when we made the studio album, but you lucky viewer, you've got the live DVD, so you can hear the finished product, Furtive Jack in all of his furtive glory. What else can I tell you? We played I Want a Parrot, which is a simple song about the fact that I want a parrot, because I like them and don't have one. Not a great deal I can tell you about it, it just does what it does. It was definitely a tune I wrote specifically for this lineup of people. And for the melody I was thinking of Brian's bass tone and like what would sound good with that. And, what would everyone have fun playing. And that's how I came up with the different parts. But other than that, just watch I Want a Parrot and see if you can make any sense of it. Then we did Waves, I guess, which is another very old tune. And that one was meant to sound like 70s analog synth kind of effects with a portamento turned up, so you get these long prog melodies, so every note glides into the next note. And guitars don't do that. At least when I wrote this tune so many years ago, I didn't have a fretless guitar, so these things were kind of getting in the way. And I thought I need to write something that slides around as much as possible. So it's not the most convenient fingering, that's the only way to make it sound slippery and weird. So that's Waves. That's the important part of Waves. There's one stupid part that, in retrospect, doesn't need to be there at all, which is there's... What was I thinking? That's about, oh yeah, and Erotic Cakes. Don't worry, Erotic Cakes is meant to sound horrible. If you don't like it, you're listening to it right. But it was supposed to be one of those jagged kind of Brecker Brothers-y riffs with lots of 16th note syncopation and lots of wrong notes. And there are certain bits where it's chunks of a chromatic scale, but there's an octave displacement. So instead of just, you might have. And we have some fun in the middle section of Erotic Cakes, because we feel that we deserve to have some fun at the end of a gig. So there you go, that's a little bit of rambling from yours truly on the topic of my contributions to the set. I hope you found it enlightening. I think I must stop now, so cheers.